I was trying to hide that I was insecure. I was trying to defend that I wasn't good enough. And I was trying to protect the fact that I was afraid. And when I finally got into my enoughness, literally sitting from a place of abundance, universal abundance, there's always, every day, I'm given absolutely everything I need to navigate this day masterfully every day. When I got into that, and I really like, oh my God, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove that I'm as good as the next person. I don't have to prove that I'm as good as a man. I don't have to hide the fact that I get nervous. I can lean into it. I can move into my enoughness and allow the nervousness to dissipate into the nothingness that it always was. I don't have to defend anything. When I got there, and when you live a life without anything to prove, protect, hide, or defend, you live a life of grace and ease, gratitude and graciousness, brilliance and humility.
Welcome to Letting Go and the Greatest Secret, where we explore the end of your suffering and the beginning of lasting happiness. I'm Hale Dwoskin, and today we'll be joined by Lisa Nichols, who is featured along with me in Rhonda Byrne's movie and book, The Secret. Lisa Nichols is an international motivational speaker, best-selling author, and founder and CEO of Motivating the Masses. She has developed workshops and programs that have transformed the lives of countless men and women and altered the trajectory of businesses throughout the country and across the world. One of the things that's talked about in Rhonda's book is that at our core, we are all the same. We are all this one pure beingness or awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know your experience of that. How has that affected you personally, that inner sense of that one unity? And how has it affected your life and your teaching?
Wow. Number one, it's allowed me just that awareness that our human spirit, our humanity, our essence, it wants the same. It thrives on the same. It's continuous. It speaks without language. It crosses the language boundaries. It crosses geographical boundaries. It crosses economical boundaries. It crosses religious boundaries. It is boundaryless.
Yes.
That for me has been it's been the tentacle that's connected me to the world, even before I had seen the world. I've had the pleasure of speaking on every continent, but before I was there, I was there. And when I got there and my humanity was maybe afraid, will they accept me? Will they embrace a chocolate skin, full lips, round hip, kinky haired woman? My spirit and my essence was already touching people. And it didn't matter when I was in Kazakhstan and didn't speak the same language. It didn't matter when I was in Taipei and didn't speak the same language. It didn't matter when I was in Swaziland and didn't speak the same language. Our communication, our intention, our souls were touching. They were connecting. And so it has been it's been a bridge. It's been a bridge to joy to me. It's been a bridge to freedom to me. It's been a bridge for me to cross over, come back and see how alike we are, how our body bags, the skin we're in, the lips we have, the hair we have, these are body bags holding a spirit sense.
Right.
And that the spirit sense is just waiting for connection to meet itself in another form. For me, it has been it's been the highway, the super highway, to me, exploring all of life and enjoying all of life and seeing more life than I ever thought I would, Hale. Experiencing more love than I ever even knew about. And I come from a loving family. I come from a family where they love deep and they love hard, they love strong and they love long. But that love is only superseded by agape love.
Yeah.
And agape love lives in the human spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been my, as my grandmother would call it, it's been my manna. And it's been my manna.
Yeah,
It's been the
man is a
things that
great
I
word.
fed
Yeah.
on. Yeah, it's been my manna.
That
What I have
that's
fed on.
that's beautiful. Yes, that one spirit or awareness or beingness that we all are is shared, and
Mhm,
in my experience, it's pure love.
mhm,
The love we experience with our children and our friends and our family is just a part of that love. It's
mhm,
not separate from it. It's
mhm,
totally connected and integrated
mhm,
with it, but it's not the whole thing. There's a deeper love
mhm,
that is silent, that is
mhm,
still,
mhm,
that is ever present,
mhm,
and that it kind of is that interconnected matrix that we
mhm,
all live in.
mhm, mhm. If you think about the movie, what's the movie where they join, you sink to this spirit being, and when you sink to the spirit being, you guys talk to one another. It's by Disney. I'm going to remember it before we finish this
Okay.
conversation.
It's not ringing a bell for me, but
Yeah, no, you'll know it when,
I'm sure I will.
and it took 10 years to make this movie because of all of the special graphics.
Oh,
But
Avatar?
Avatar,
Yes, yes,
see,
yes.
you did
Yeah.
Avatar. And with the Avatar, there's this sync you have, right?
Right, right,
And you sync your tentacle to the animals, and then you breathe together. That's agape love.
right.
That's agape love, when you pass all the differences and you sink at this core spiritual, sacred place, and then you breathe together. And I've watched it, Hale. I've watched it over and over and over again. And for years, I couldn't put a word to it.
Mhm.
And I wondered, what was it? And I know that I call him God. I've been given that the gift, the opportunity to go straight there, you
Right,
know,
right.
to touch someone right at that core place where it's that sacred zone. It's where all the most precious minerals and all the most precious gems live, because that's where my agape love is. That's where my vulnerability is. That's where my trust is. That's where my hope is. That's where my desire is. And when you can sit in that space with someone, you have an experience that's timeless. You don't require 10 years to have a deep connection. It's timeless.
Yes.
You pass a place that it doesn't keep score.
Right.
This
Definitely
space
doesn't.
doesn't keep track.
Right.
This space has no expectations.
Yes.
This space has no judgment. This space has no repercussions.
Right.
This space is all giving, all receiving, all loving, all acknowledging, all embracing. And it's almost, when you touch it, unexplainable. For years, hell, I couldn't explain it. I would feel it, and it would make the hair on the back of my neck stand up, and it would make my eyes tear up. And I'd be looking at someone that I had never met before, but we touched in that sacred place. Mm. And over the years, I just learned how to hone it. Over the years, I learned how to serve it. Over the years, I learned how to offer it up to people. I think if there's anything that I've learned how to do the best, it's how to offer it up, this sacred space of beingness, how to offer mine up, and then
Yes.
extend a safe invitation for anyone that I'm being with, talking to touch theirs and offer theirs up, so that we can have a unified sacred moment.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. And I remember when we first met, that was my feeling as soon as we met, I felt like I was meeting myself.
Yeah. Oh,
I, I felt just an instant uh,
yeah.
inner unicity with you. It was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Inner unicity. That's exactly what it is. I was speaking in Los Angeles once early in my career, probably over 27 years ago. And I remember I was speaking for about 600 people, and this gentleman walked down to me afterwards. And this was before I understood this sacred space. And he said, "Young lady, I'm a 68-year-old white Jewish man, and I'm a wealthy director from Hollywood who's pretty cynical about life. And you are my twin sister. And I didn't understand it in the moment. I didn't understand how he saw himself in me so clearly. But over the years, I never forgot that gentleman. And over the years, I seek to touch that space more often and then to understand it. So I felt the exact same thing, Hale, when you and I met.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It still is.
Yeah.
Over 20 years later, I know it's at least 20 years that we've known each other. But that feeling has not changed at all. I see you and I am you.
But
what else can I say?
Yeah. It's when the divine in me touches the divine in you.
Yes.
And then we create a universal divinity that neither one of us can touch individually.
Yes.
But that's only created in a collective energy.
Yes.
And a collective synergy. Oh, it is, as our friend says, heaven on earth. It is.
And this divinity, though, don't you also feel it, though, when you're just with yourself, when you're really Absolutely. With yourself? So in my experience, we're all living it, even when we're not aware of it, because it is, it's just that, that in true relationship, it's divine to divine, and and that definitely creates something unique that's shared in that divine interconnection.
But there's a wholeness in its individuality.
Yes.
There's a wholeness. I know where you're going, brother. There's a wholeness. So I'm not bringing half and you bring half. I bring whole divinity and you bring whole divinity. Exactly. And together we make a collective wholeness that exists because we've come together.
Yes.
But the awareness of the wholeness in your singularity, the enoughness, the I wake up every single day whole and complete. I wake up every single day enough divinity, enough sacredness, enough universal, enough power, enough humility, enough woman, enough man, old enough, young enough. I wake up clear enough. I wake up warm enough. I wake up curious enough. I wake up wise enough. The awareness of the enough and the completeness that permeates from each one of us becomes to me, that awareness and that willingness to sit in that space and bring in and invite in the light. And then to understand, hold on, I am the light. And then to say, I don't have to have anything external come to me because I can be it. And I be it, I become more of it, I release more of it. I give myself permission to be it. A lot of it lives in not who we are, but who we give ourselves permission to be. Because I believe we're far more than what we know. We're far
That's
more,
for sure.
We're far more than our conscious awareness, because we have the tendency to summarize ourselves based on our experiences. And our experiences don't determine who we are. Who we are is who we are, and we're just living this experience.
Exactly. Very well put. And some of that is just a pure affirmation. Everyone listening to this, you might want to re-listen to it at least once. And you might want to just listen to some of this, because if you're open, you can discover that sense of enough right within you in any moment. The things that Lisa and I talk about are not unique to us. We've just been blessed to be spokespersons for a particular point of view that is this the open invitation to this. I love the word enough. Because it's so accurate. that feeling of completeness or enoughness
Yeah.
that is at our heart is beautiful.
And the enoughness across all spectrums, like as it relates to your age, you are young enough and you are old enough at the same time.
Yes.
As it relates to your education, you are smart enough and you are open enough to learn more.
Right, right.
At the size and your body shape, you are full enough while you are thin enough, while you are fit enough, right? Like
Yes.
all of the enoughness. And in order for the universe, the divine, to bring more into who you be in this moment, you have to first declare the enoughness in who you are.
Yes.
Like understanding that attracts more and attracts enough, that I'm 100% complete in who I am in this moment. And then there's tomorrow. But for today, I am enough. For
Yes.
this moment, I am enough. Can I tell you that mantra, that awareness, that constant reminder of certainty has been my peace. It's been the thing that not only allows you to navigate through challenging times, Hale, the times that will leave you questioning, was I there enough? Was I aware enough? Was I present enough? Was I loving enough? Was I humble enough? All the questions. If you work to live in your enoughness, then you can dismantle the cracks and chasms that come with that uncertainty. But by the same token, the leaning into the enoughness is the single mindset that can help heal old conversations of lack and chasms and wonder, as well as prepare you for this breathtaking future that's on its way to you. I'm smart enough, and I'm young enough, and I'm wise enough. The same enoughness that validates your past choices can also prepare you for your future blessings. Enoughness. That's why I use it so much, because it literally supports me and prepares me in both directions.
Right, right. But it's also a gift you share with others, because when you're around someone that you can feel when they're like this,
yes, you can,
or like this,
yes,
and neither one of those are enough. You're with most of us, we're either trying to get something from the world or we're trying to push something away from us. But that feeling of enough, that
yeah,
feeling of being whole and complete
yeah,
and enough as
yeah.
we are,
Ebb and flow.
is yes, it allows the ebb and flow in life, but it's also a great place for us to start.
Yeah.
Whatever we're experiencing, and it's an invitation to everyone listening. I mean, if you take nothing else from our talk today, focus. If you can start just paying attention to where enough is already showing up in your life, you're going to be way ahead of the game.
Yeah. And then if you can declare that enoughness, like tell your cells. I talk to my cells. I let my cells know you are whole and complete in this moment. You have everything you need to navigate through this opportunity or through this chaos. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. You woke up enough. Before you look for anyone else to like or approve you, the first law is that you love and approve your enoughness on your own. And every other like on social media or elsewhere is bonus.
Right.
That peace of mind. Then you have grace and ease. Then there's no need to clamor and grab and hold on tight to with closed fists. There's no need to push away and to deflect. There's no need to do that. You are not a lake. You're not stagnant. Nothing stays. You are a river. It flows, and all good things come in and out, expansion and contraction. When I got that, I stopped trying to prove, protect, hide, or defend. I'll say that again, because I was trying to prove I was smart enough. I was trying to hide that I was insecure. I was trying to defend that I wasn't good enough. And I was trying to protect the fact that I was afraid. And when I finally got into my enoughness, literally sitting from a place of abundance, universal abundance, there's always, every day, I'm given absolutely everything I need to navigate this day masterfully every day. When I got into that, And I really like, oh my God, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove that I'm as good as the next person. I don't have to prove that I'm as good as a man. I don't have to hide the fact that I get nervous. I can lean into it. I can move into my enoughness and allow the nervousness to dissipate into the nothingness that it always was. I don't have to defend anything. When I got there, and when you live a life without anything to prove, protect, hide, or defend, you live a life of grace and ease, gratitude and graciousness, brilliance and humility.
Is right.
Delicious. Delicious.
Totally delicious. Totally delicious. Yeah, I work with people all the time where that's one of the things I'm trying to help people see, that you don't need to defend, approve, or justify, or explain anything about who or what you are, ever. And yet for most of us, that's the mind's full-time. The mind thinks that's its full-time job. Instead of looking to see what's really true about our essence, we just defend what's not even there with the illusions.
Right. The perception we believe people have of us. And my grandmother has always said, other people's perception of you is none of your business. And if you are managing my perception of you, then you're not in your own power. You're not in your own knowing. You're managing my perception of you, and you've left your knowing of yourself. She told me when I was 24 years old, she said, baby, they're going to write a lot about you. I have no idea how my grandmother knew at age 24 that there were going to be articles about me or whatever. She said, baby, they're going to write about you. They're going to write a lot about you. She says, please don't read any of it. Do yourself a favor. Put it all in a file cabinet. And when you get older and my age, sit in your favorite rocking chair. Pull out everything they wrote about you and be entertained by who people thought you were, while all the time you knew who you were and whose you were. And so it's one of those things, don't get caught up in managing someone else's perception of you. Get completely committed to being who you've always been meant to be, to give yourself permission to live in that divine place of ebb and flow of humanity, to allow your human spirit to come out of you, to talk through you, to love through you. It's unbreakable, it's unshakable, it's unstoppable. It's always looking for the next command. The human spirit, your human spirit, is unavailable to the chaos happening in the world. It's unavailable to the financial bank account balance. It's unavailable to the relationship that might be going through some challenges. The human spirit simply has one question. What's my next command? Who do you want me to love? How do you want me to show up? How big do I leap? How wide do I play? And when you can live in that human spirit and navigate through that human spirit and understand, I have everything I need for such a time as this. And in your own unique package, your own unique divine package, you are perfect for this moment. When I got that, and I stopped comparing, Benjamin Franklin says, comparison is and will always be the thief of all your joy. When I didn't compare my package to someone else's package, when I made my package enough, I'm enough with mocha skin, full lips, round hips, and kinky hair. I'm enough coming from a background of being dyslexic. I'm enough someone who was scared to write, who my grammar was weak at one time. I'm enough. When you keep affirming, I'm enough, there's a divine assignment on each of our lives, and we are enough for that assignment. Don't question it. Don't wonder about it. Don't jump in and out of it. Lean in and own it. And when you stumble and fall, if you should, here's what I love about the human spirit. Here's what I love about the divinity in us. The divinity in us bounces back powerfully. So it's not about avoiding a stumble. It's not about living a life where you never stumble. It's about trusting your bounce back.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things when you live that way, you discover that there are no mistakes. Even those things that seem to be a problem or a mistake, some of the biggest gifts come in the form of what appear to be setbacks. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Absolutely. I say all the time, some of my best gifts came wrapped in sandpaper. Some of
Right.
my best gifts. And don't miss the gift because the sandpaper is painful. Some of my best gifts come wrapped in sandpaper. Some of your best gifts will come wrapped in sandpaper, have come wrapped in sandpaper, because we as humanity, we want to be compassionate, we want to be resilient, we want to be determined, we want to have all these characteristics, but those characteristics don't come to you by Google download. They don't come to you, they don't come to you wrapped in a package off of, Amazon. They don't come to you that way. They come wrapped in an experience that required your resilience. They come wrapped in an experience that required you to forgive the perceivingly unforgivable, to love the perceivingly unlovable, to find the divinity in you so that the compassion in you can touch the need in someone else. I realized the best parts of my character were born out of the things that I didn't ask for. The best parts of my character came out and rose from a circumstance that I had to say something I didn't know I'd ever have to say, Hale, do something I thought I'd never had to do, and allow the woman that I've always known myself to be to emerge on the other side.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's
And
beautiful.
so I'm clear. I am an example, because let me be clear with you. 29 years ago, 30 years ago, I didn't see this woman. 30 years ago, heck, 26 years ago, I was crawling, crying, begging to see something good in Lisa. Other people saw potential in me, but I didn't know what potential meant, Hale.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. That was too ambiguous to me. I'm like, what does that mean? Who will I become? I was that woman who I looked for love in other people's eyes and other people's view of me. I didn't see what they saw yet. I didn't trust myself yet. I didn't know that I was enough yet. I saw all the things I wasn't yet. I saw everything I wasn't. I didn't see how much I came with. I saw the voids. I didn't know how to build on what was there. And when I began to pour into Lisa, to affirm Lisa, to introduce myself to Lisa, to get to know Lisa, to not wonder why I didn't have what she had, or I didn't look like what he looked like, but to expect that exactly the way I was supposed to be, I am, as I am, as I am, as is so. Only then, I didn't become someone else. I became more of myself. I let her be born.
Yes.
I let her be born. I let all of her be born. I midwifed out my spiritual connection. Then I midwifed out my emotional connection. I midwifed out the divinity connection. I allow them all. Please come. Trust me. Please come. I'll be a good steward with all that I am. And so I am, as I am, as I am. Trust me. Come to the forefront. I will serve you up. I will touch the world with you. I will help heal with you. I will be healed through you. I will be a good steward of you. I didn't go get who I've become. I didn't go get her.
Yes.
I released her.
Right.
I nurtured her. I nurtured her out.
Yes.
Through amazing teachers like you. I gave her permission to come out. Trust me, we'll be all right. Trust me, we'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what's wonderful about everything you're saying is that that's available to everyone, each and every one of us, to allow the jewel that is already at the heart of our being to shine into every part of our life. And it's really just, as you said, a midwifing or a nurturing or releasing, allowing forth. It's not getting something new. It's already all right here, right now. And it comes out through that sense of I am, which, and one of the indicators of living as that sense of I am is that feeling of wholeness, that feeling of enough.
It's
So what you're,
that.
yes.
Sorry. It's
No, it's okay.
It's recognizing that we don't have to be info junkies.
Right.
You don't have to go and layer on or lather on another layer of information. You don't have to go out and seek and search for another degree, not for a place of completeness. Do it because it's a study you want to have,
right?
But not for a sense of completeness.
Yes.
That you come to this experience complete.
Yes.
And if you can live in that knowing, you choose to live in that knowing, then all you do is add layers to your completeness. And every layer makes you complete. You showed up enough. And everything just adds to your enoughness, that adds to your servant leadership, that adds to who you become, that adds to how you serve. But you came to the conversation enough. And just breathe that in. I'm enough. Like every day I breathe that in. Every day that's my affirmation. And what I find is inside of that affirmation, I play bigger. Inside of that affirmation, I take on new charges. Inside of that affirmation, I trust myself with larger bodies of people, with larger projects. When I stand in my enoughness, I live in my enoughness. I understand that I'm a great steward, not a good steward. I'm a great steward of the assignment placed on my life. You are a great steward of the assignment placed on your life. When I stand in that, then I allow myself to embrace more assignment. I allow myself to take on a bigger assignment. I allow myself to touch more people. I don't talk myself out of speaking for NASA or speaking for this group or speaking for that. I don't talk myself out of showing up big because I say, I am enough for what's in front of me. Tell your sales, give your sales notice, send an email to your sales.
Right. And the beautiful thing about everything you're saying is you're talking for each and every one of us. That even though some of the people listening to this will be aspirational instead of fully experiential, just to even have that be your aspiration is pulling you in the right direction, the direction of that wholeness, that inner harmony, the beauty.
I was her. Yeah. I was her. If this is aspirational for you, meaning it feels like you could see it, but you can't quite reach it yet, then I'm your sister. I'm your sister. All I could do is look at the light. But if all you can do today is look at the light, then be aware that light exists. And as you look at the light and you affirm that I am worthy of touching that light, that divinity in me, you give your sales notice, you'll notice the light will come closer and closer and closer to you. And before you know it, you're not looking at the light. You are the light. And I'm
beautifully put. Yeah.
I know it personally.
Hale. Yes.
I know it personally. My journey.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. And in that journey, I could say that when on the days when you don't have the faith and you don't have the awareness to see it for yourself, on those days, borrow my lenses.
Right.
For you.
Right.
Because on those days, I will have enough faith for the both of us. The smartest thing I did was when I couldn't see it for Lisa. I came to someone like Hale, someone like Rhonda, someone like Jack, someone like Patty. I came to one of my friends who could see it for me in that moment, better than I could see it for myself, I took off my lenses and I borrowed theirs.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's beautiful to put, because we're here, even though we appear to be many, we are one. And we're all here to love and support each other. Everyone within your own environment, you already have people who are your Lisas, who you can go to, and they'll reflect back to you the best of you that you may not see yet. And so seek them out and honor them, those people who are supporting you in your life. And they're not going to add anything to you. They're reflecting back what you already are.
Affirming what your cells already know.
Yes.
Which is why you're wise enough to ask them.
Yes.
I for many years, I would ask my friends in my darker moments.
Yes.
My less affirmed feeling moments, and the moments when I question, who do you see me to be? How do you know I'm on? And they would just pour into me. And I'd listen as if they were talking about someone else. And I go, okay, I'll take that on. And I would strap their belief in me to my back like a backpack. And I'd wear it until I look back and I was wearing my own backpack of belief.
Right.
I love it. And then to remember, I say to you, remember that your past does not equal your future, and that your past is a setup, and that the lessons you've learned needed to be learned so that you can live out the divine assignment on your life. We each are a unique instrument and a beautiful sound, a beautiful orchestra, a beautiful symphony, a worldwide global symphony, and no one can play your tune like you. That you are a unique, unrepeatable miracle brought here at such a time as this to play a very important part in the symphony. And your sound is beautiful. And whether your sound has been muted in the past, whether you couldn't hear it yourself, or whether you're just learning how to play the instrument called you're in the perfect place. You're in the perfect place. And as your sister, I can't wait to hear your sound, to hear the music called your voice.
Beautiful. So that was a beautiful thing. But is there anything else you want to add? Because we're running out of time. I know you have another appointment. I want to make sure. Also, is there anything that you'd like to offer to people, share with people, a website or an?
Yeah, I think what naturally fits this is as we embrace the truth, which is abundance is our birthright. Abundance is our birthright. We choose scarcity. We may have to, we may be born into a financial environment. We may be born into a economical environment, but abundance is beyond finances. Abundance is relationship. Abundance is spiritual wholeness. Abundance is health awareness. Abundance is abundance. Abundance is not unilateral down one lane called materials and assets. Abundance is a universal, and abundance is our birthright. And when I understood that abundance of healthy relationships, abundance of awareness, when I got that and I began to seek abundance in my life, outside of business, but really universal, my life began to transform. And so I created this whole path of understanding abundance, what abundance is, what abundance isn't, the myth about abundance. And I would love to make that available to you. I would love to make it something that is super powerful for you to grab a hold of. And let me just tell you, it's a gift from me. And you could go to Motivating the Masses, my company name, motivatingthemasses.com/abundance now. And it's just, it shares with you the definition of abundance, the true definition, and the myths and the truth about abundance. A lot of people believe the myth. And also something that I had to learn, and it changed my life, the distinction between what scarcity-based thinkers think and what abundant thinkers think. So it's just my gift. It gives you all of that, me on video. And it just began to turn the tide for me. Because for a long time, I thought I was a person that lived in lack, but I just got a hookup.
Right.
Even after I made 6 figures, 7 figures, I thought I just escaped scarcity. I just got away from broke, and I had to really move to an abundant mindset. So I wasn't trying to outrun scarcity, and that I truly was living in the birthright, my birthright, which was abundance. Then it became effortless. Then attracting the right people and attracting the right business opportunities became far more fluid and effortless when I understood that. So my gift, if it works for you, motivatingthemasses.com/abundance now. I know it's a lot, but it's an abundant title.
Yes, it is. And it will be in the show notes. So people
Wonderful.
will, wherever we promote it, we'll put that in.
Wonderful, wonderful. I've enjoyed my time with you, my friend. I often call you and everyone else, Raymond, Aaron, Jack, everyone, Pete. I call you my big brothers from another mother.
Right.
And many of you may not even know about that, but from back in 2007, when I was scheduled to go on Oprah, and I was really afraid.
Yes.
And I sat with you guys in Sedona.
Yes.
And I said, I don't want to have 15 minutes of fame. I want to be able to help transform the world. I want to do it right. And all of these, with all due respect, older white men wrapped their arms around me and bypassed all of my previous fears from the years prior to that. That why would they want me? Why would they hug me? Why would they embrace me? Each one of you embraced me like a little sister. And you taught me what I needed to learn. You showed me what I didn't have in my line of sight. You took me behind the black curtain. You made me aware. And as a result, I've been able to build my own little empire serving the world. And so if that's not an indicator that the human spirit transcends all things, that you're my brother, you've been my brother for years. I refer to you in your absence as my brother. And I'm grateful to be on the planet at the same time as you.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Lisa Nichols. You can learn more about Lisa and access free resources by visiting motivatingthemasses.com. That's motivatingthemasses.com. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you'll have immediate access to future episodes. Please give us a 5-star rating and share it with the people you care about. If you'd like to learn more about my work, my mentor Leslie Levinson's work, and the Sedona Method, please visit www.sedona.com. As you explore our site, you'll learn the key to lasting happiness, success, peace, and emotional well-being. We have books, courses, events, and plenty of free material to explore. Again, go to sedona.com. That's sedona.com. Thank you for being here. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Letting Go and the Greatest Secret.